In order to improve the productivity in office, we have so far covered the two phases. The phase one was creating the flow, the phase two was creating pull, and now we are going to discuss the phase three, which is visualization, means implementing the visual management in office area to hold the gains what we have already achieved through previous two phases, plus continuously improve the processes in office area. So let's go ahead with visualization or visual management in our third phase. Here we are going to discuss three main elements of visualization or visual management. The first one is the benefit of visual management, why we do it. The second is the challenges. What are the challenges we face when we start implementing visual management? And the last element is 6 stepping stones, how we can implement a very good visual management in our office area in 6 different steps. So let's go ahead. What are the benefits of visual management? The first benefit of visual management in office area is enhanced communication. The communication between the team members or the whole area is very good because the tasks or what's going on in the area, everything is visually displayed, so there is no room for interpretation by one team member about the tasks of other team member or the stage in which one team member is working. Imagine the work of one team member is dependent upon the completion of few tasks by other team members, so he has to ask, he doesn't know what is the real status. But through the visual management, everybody knows what's going on in the area, where are the problems, and that increase the level of communication, that increase the transparency in the whole area. The second benefit is enhanced productivity. We have seen in the last benefit that the communication is enhanced. So what happens? The team members are not spending time for searching any information. Everything is available. Besides that, because the visual management makes it easier to understand how to do the work, what are the steps, in which sequence, how long it should take. So that also makes it possible to perform in a consistent way, and there is less room for errors or mistakes. That all enhance the productivity in the office area. The third benefit is increase accountability. Imagine when through visual management, the tasks, their progress, and the overall goal is visually displayed, and it's also displays who is responsible for what. This makes the individuals or the teams accountable for that, and through this visualization people feel accountable and they feel committed for the task to achieve. So that increase the accountability and enhance the productivity of the whole area. Through the visual management, we are using the tools like Kanban, Gantt chart, or we have seen in previous phase of full implementation the use of Haijunka. So all these tools in visual management makes it easier to have almost real-time information of the current status of the process, tasks or projects. So because of this information, a very quick decisions could be made based upon what is the end goal, what is the requirement, and where we are deviating from the standard condition. So this all makes it easier to take timely decision and bring the task or the project back to the track in time. The next benefit is continuous improvement of the overall process. Because we have now visually displayed the tasks, the projects, we know when we have non-standard condition, and by using visual management we know at what part or which project parameter or metric is deviating from its normal condition repeatedly, and then this opens the discussion or gives the opportunity to improve it sustainably. If we don't have this visual management, it is very hard to understand where in the whole project or in whole process what are the one or two places where we have repeated problem. With the visual management, we can easily see what are our bottleneck processes, where we have always the problem, which KPI is mostly deviating from its target. So that makes it easier to identify errors or weak areas and trigger the discussion for continuous improvement. The next benefit is employee engagement. If the employees can say where their own work task is fitting in the bigger picture, where the other colleagues are also working, their tasks, their projects are also displayed, it makes them easier to understand where they fit in the bigger picture. That gives the sense of purpose, sense of achievement, sense of belonging, to give the help, to take the help, to understand what's going on around the area. And the employees are more engaged in the overall big picture than just their small area of their monotonous work. So the visual management enhance employee engagement. So through these benefits what we have discussed, we increase the productivity and we eliminate the waste in office areas, and thereby reducing the cost of the office area. The second element in visual management to understand is the challenges we face when we are implementing first time visual management. The biggest challenge is the staff member, the employees involved. They might feel the fear of punishment if they fail to meet the expectation. Through the visual management, we are visualizing what are the goals, when, how, what should be achieved, and the employee might think that if they let this happen, if they let the implementation of visual management, their task will be transparent, and whenever they are not meeting the targets, they will be punished. And another big challenge we face is that the employee think through the visual management we are making their implicit knowledge, what they have just in their head, and it's not written in any document or any kind of operating procedures. So they have this knowledge through working for years and years in one process. Now through visual management, we want to visualize the best practices, as we have seen in last phase of creating pull. That makes them have fear that if they will lose this knowledge, or if they share this knowledge, they will not be valuable for the company as they were before sharing this knowledge. So any new worker can come, any new staff member might come in the department and can perform up to at least 80% of the level as they have, if they will share their expert knowledge for implementation of visual management. So these are the two main challenges we face when we are implementing visual management. The solution is a surety from top management. The top management should ensure that the staff members who are helping to implement visual management, they are increasing the efficiency of that area, that department. And if that department, that area is business critical, then they are contributing for the overall success of the company, and they will not have any negative consequence of cooperating this lean transformation. Management must take the fear out of employees before the implementation. The second thing, or the second responsibility of the management, is to make it clear that for the implementation of visual management, that we are going through the lean management journey, and we can discuss, or the employees can discuss who have fear, about how to implement in detail, but the overall principle, but the overall goal will never be compromised. So it means we will not say that we will not implement visual management, or we will not do the lean transformation in the office area the way we are doing it. That could be discussed with the staff member and could be aligned a little bit. So these are the two main things top management must ensure before implementing or before starting with visual management. The third element and the most important element for visual management implementation is 6 stepping stones. So here we will see the 6 steps how we can implement visual management in a very simple and structured way. The first stepping stone is visualize what is the purpose of that area. Sometimes we have a very big office with 20 people sitting, and we don't know in these 20 people there are a group of 5 people who belongs to one department and other 10 people belongs to other department. So when we are doing the visual management for one department, we have to visualize what is the purpose of that department, that area. The second step, we'll see in detail here also later on, what activities are performed in that area in the context of bigger picture. The third stepping stone here is to visualize what to do. People know who are working in that department, but the question is here in visual management, we have to visualize what to do in an appropriate way. The next step is to visualize how to do. After that, we have to assess the performance and visualize it so that we are clear how the performance is. And the last step for the visual management implementation is to define the actions in case the current performance is deviating from the expected performance. So let's see all these 6 steps in more detail and see how we can visualize them. The first stepping stone is to visualize the value addition or the purpose of the area or the office. This is the easiest step towards visual management implementation. This can be done by just simply visualizing the name of the area with simple signboards. What is the outcome of the area? What are the results expected? What are the services delivered by these group of some people? Imagine you have a big office area in which 20 people are sitting and only 6-7 people belong to one department. Even the most experienced employees who are working for 10 years, when they again come for any work or any task or seeking for any information, sometimes they also cannot find, because in today's world the organizational changes are so quick. The people are changing, the faces are changing, also the whole department. If they are sitting today and after 6 months or after 1 year, they might be sitting somewhere else. And in that case, before starting the visualization, the task or the projects and everything which we are going to discuss in next phase, it is important to visualize that what is the purpose, what is the area, what is the name. Maybe if it is allowed, the photos of the team members can be displayed. So this is the beginning of visual management. Besides this, if there are new employees, they can very quickly get the overview where which department is, and then they do not cause disturbance to a lot of people to asking where what should be done and where they should go. The second stepping stone is to visualize what activities are performed in context of bigger picture. So in this case, what we can do is we can visualize the whole value stream in case it's available and highlight where this department is delivering value, where this department is situated in whole end-to-end value stream. It could be somewhere in the beginning or end of production areas, or it could be in business processes like customer order fulfillment. It could be purchase department, it could be sales department, it could be marketing department, or any of the other departments in the company. The other visualization method here to visualize what are the activities or what is being done in this area in context of bigger picture could be to visualize SIPOC, what we have discussed in the first phase of this series of videos, and highlight in SIPOC that this is the process being followed or performed in this area, and this process has these suppliers, this input and this output, and these are the customers. And with that, we can visualize what are the main activities in context of bigger picture. The third stepping stone for visual management implementation is to visualize what to do. This includes what to do, when to do, and in which sequence is to be done. So how we can visualize these things? Depending upon the area, there are different ways of visualization. Here are a few examples. In the first example, we see a very simple visualization where we can see that we have tasks and we have the topics or projects, and we have clearly defined by which time they should be finished. very simple visualization. The second way of visualizing in some areas could be in way of project management, in which we are visualizing maybe electronically or on a bigger wall. What is the project charter, in which the goal of the project, the resources, the team and time frame, cost, budget, stakeholders, everything we have that can be displayed, so that we always have a clear picture what is this project all about. And then we can have the time plan, that what are the activities to be done and by when they should be done. And in this visualization we can also include the key output of the projects. Maybe so far the project has been finished 50% and the outcomes of the project were these drawings or this analysis or this data, whatever. So in this type of visualization we are visualizing from project charter to how we are doing, what tasks to be done, and also the key outputs, so that it's clear for all the team members what's going on in this project. The third type of visualization could be plan for every process. So in this type of visualization we have clearly defined time. At 9 o'clock this task should be done, at 10 o'clock this task should be done, and on Monday this task will be done, and on Tuesday the task number 2 will be done or 3 will be done. So there is a plan for every process which has to be carried out in that department, in that area. So these are just 3 examples. Depending upon the area, either you can choose one of them or you can combine these, the first with second and second with the third, depending upon what serves the purpose most and very well. The next stepping stone is to visualize how to do it. In the previous stepping stone we have seen to visualize what to do. That can be visualized in different ways. The simple visualization or the complicated, where we set the task number 1, 2 and 3. So they were merely the tasks which should be done, means what to do. Here we are visualizing is how to do. If you can remember this example of standard work from the phase 1, creating flow, what we have discussed, then you can see here that these are the tasks which we have to perform in this example. But beside these tasks we have marked green and yellow text which are showing how to do them and also why to do them in that way. The reason behind that is, if we do not clearly define what task and how to do it and why to do in that way, why that way is the best practice, the people might drift to their own way of working over a period of time. With this visualization, for every employee who is performing the key process in their department, we are assuring a standard way of working in that area. In this example of visualizing how to do it, we are visualizing how often we have to perform these tasks and what is the expected duration for completing that task, and in the last column we are visualizing when to perform them. This information is very critical because by visualizing this for every single task, we are assuring that in case there are some non-standard conditions existing, they are highlighted very quickly. For example, we know for one task, the task number 1, we need 10 minutes. If this task is repeatedly taking 20 minutes or 30 minutes as compared to the expected duration, then we can ask for what is the reason. Is there any problem? Is the system is so slow which is being used to perform this task, or is there any problem? But if we have not visualized this, and if new employee comes and he or she is just performing their way and they do not have any reference to compare how long it should take, then the inefficiency or the problem will stay in the system forever. And this is not the one way that is taking longer. It could be that the planned duration for any task is 15 minutes, but we are finishing that task, or the employees are finishing that task just in 5 minutes. It might be good for the productivity, but might not good for the quality. Maybe the employee or maybe the staff member is using any shortcuts, and that might have any negative consequences after 2 or 3 processes. and there might be some quality issues as well. On the other hand, if we see there are no quality issues, and through the creativity of the staff member, we have developed a new way of working, or we have any new tool that we don't need 15 minutes to complete the task, we can finish it in 5 minutes. In that case, we can revise this standard work and change the expected time duration. So here we can see how the previously discussed stepping stone of what to do in 3 different type of visualization, we can extend these visualization and add in between them the visualization for how to do them. The second last stepping stone of visual management implementation is to visualize the performance, how well the performance is, how well the tasks are being completed. If we see the same visualization which we started first with what to do, and we extended that visualization with how and why to do in that way, and that can be further extended to visualize how well are we performing, how well the tasks are progressing. The last stepping stone of visual management is here define the actions in case the expected performance is not achieved. So it means if we know that we are getting red in one type of task repeatedly or in any project repeatedly, then we need to have a system that we are entering the comments, whatever is known, the reason at that point of time. And if we see the same problem again and again, and we have 5 or 10 comments about it, so we have more knowledge about this problem, and these reoccurring problems can be displayed separately on a board, where through the help of action plan, in which we see these are the problems, they are occurring repeatedly and we haven't achieved our expected performance over the period of time, and we need to take these actions, and who is responsible for that, by what time we want to complete it, and such other columns we can add as per the requirement of that office area. So the actions and their progress to achieve the continuous improvement in that area can be visualized with this. The required action on the action board for the improvement could be short-term, intermediate, or long-term. The short-term could be the project is not in time, we need quick help from another department or another employee. The intermediate term could be that we need to retrain the person because he or she couldn't follow the standard work or doesn't know how to do it in a better way. This could be in some situation the reason why we couldn't meet the expectation. And the long term could be that we want to optimize the process. Maybe the process has deviated, the condition has changed, and we need overall improvement, optimization of the process so that we can complete that in original expected time frame, for example, or original expected quality parameters. So these could be the different type of solutions or actions, and the status of these actions can also be displayed on the action board in separate column. And also, if we know that over a period of time we haven't seen the improvement, or we need to escalate, that can also be visualized. Or we can design here the rules that in case this matter is not solved after 12 months, that has to be highlighted and should be communicated to the top management. Or if a problem could not be solved because the resources required to solve that problem are not available, and that couldn't be managed for 12 months or 6 months, then that should be highlighted to the next level of management. Such design rules could be mentioned in the beginning so that we have our complete visual management system. So we see what tasks, how to do, in which sequence, and why to do in that way, and how to track the performance of the task. And in case we are not meeting the expectation, the tasks are not being performed as expected, then to improve them, then to see what are the reasons, to analyze and continuously improve them. And if for the improvement the progress is not being made, how to escalate them. So here we are covering all the aspects of visual management with these animations and these examples. With this, we have completed 3 phases of lean transformation in office area. What we have seen so far, the first phase we have covered was creating the flow, in which the interruption of the work through the different demand deviations which are coming from the market or the customer, we streamlined it with the help of 17 elements. And after that, in the second phase, we created pull system, the pull system for the tasks where it was needed. We pulled the resources at right place in order to optimally utilize the available resources. And this we have seen with the help of 6 key elements. And the last phase was visual management, that we have seen with the help of 3 key elements. And this ensures that all the gain, all the benefits what we have achieved from the previous 2 phases of flow and pull system are there, and they are not reverting back to their old conditions. So with the visualization, we are holding the gains what we have achieved, and we are making sure that our office area is continuously improving. All the processes are improving further and further with the implementation of visual management. With this, we can eliminate the waste in our office area. So let's see further what are the benefits we have covered so far in this journey of lean transformation in office areas. The first key benefit was that by targeting the office areas, we are closing the gap between the required investment or focus and the actual focus for the improvements. We have seen a Harvard Business Review publication in which we have seen that generally the cost of production or manufacturing a product, there the cost of labor, direct labor, is just 10%, but the continuous improvement spendings or the effort or the focus is more than 39%. On the other hand, the overhead cost for production are 30%, whereas the improvement focus, where the spending for continuous improvement in these areas are just 5%. So that's why there is a huge potential for improvement if through this lean transformation in office area we can achieve the improvement and increase the productivity in overhead areas in office areas. In the end of first phase, creating the flow in office areas, we have seen and we have discussed more in detail the key benefits like lead time reduction, processing time reduction, and quality improvements. By the end of second phase of creating pull, we have seen that how pull system creates predictability for the results, how it gives us the consistent lead time and contributes to the overall success of the company. And then we have seen by implementing pull system, we are very flexible where which resources are needed, and this flexibility further demands the multi-skilling, the cross-functional training, which further uses the whole range of talent of the employees. And after that, we have also seen how the teamwork or the team spirit is enhanced by using the pull system, because with pull system, the staff members are not having their individual local goals, but they are given the big picture, they are given the goal for a bigger area, and that encourages to help each other and boost the team spirit. And then we have seen through the implementation of Hejunka tool how we can find and react to any deviation in a very short period of time and response quickly and bring the non-standard condition back to the normal conditions. In the last phase of lean transformation of visual management implementation, we have seen that the benefit of improved communication and enhanced productivities are very easily achieved, along with the other benefits of visual management like increase accountability and faster decision making by the employees in that situation in case there are any deviations from the process, and how the visual management is increasing the continuous improvement of the overall process. And then we have seen that how visual management foster the employee engagement.